Hey guys, welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. It is the weekend video, so make sure you are comfy and cozy because this is that time of the week again. Got my cozy sweater on. Let's prepare for next week. We're gonna go through a bunch of tickers. All right, let's get right into it. And for those of you that haven't seen, on the market review video, already gone through Bitcoin, Tesla, Nvidia, FSR, QS, and Zoom. So those will not be on this video. All right, first one. I'm gonna start off with something interesting. For those of you that watched the video on Friday, so this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, last weekend's video, the 12th, yeah, last weekend's video, I mentioned that I was going to get into GTEC. This was an accidental find. We were looking at GTEC, the Canadian side of things, the marijuana play that used to be my baby, and then accidentally came across this one. Loved the setup. Now let's take a look at what happened here. All right, so this was a bull flag setup. You can see huge volume spike back here, right? So I was thinking, there's lots of upside to this chart. And I wanted to get in last week on some calls. But then as I pulled it up, everyone went through to pull it up and realized that they didn't have any options available. So then I sort of went on my day and forgot about it because I was busy trimming positions at the beginning of last week. So then totally forgot about it Monday, Tuesday. Come Thursday, look at this. So we got it. Let's say if we got in Monday weekend, yeah, the plan was to get in Monday. This move 256% on a common stock. My goodness. So it's a multi-year contract with something. I didn't read into the details because it wasn't in anyways, but this shows stick to your plan. If you're planning on buying something, buy it. Either take the chance or lose, or take the risk or lose the chance, right? My goodness, 256%. All right. Just an example of sticking to your game plans. I'm more than happy I'm missing this one because it's just it makes me really happy because I called it out and hopefully some people got into it. Even though I missed it, wanted to play calls, that would have been a 10 bagger minimal. You're looking more so around 1,500% return or 2,000% return, somewhere around there if there were calls available, options available. Oh well, on to the next trade, and this is why we do the weekend ticker review videos, right? Right, first one, workhorse. Now this chart is getting a bit interesting. Low volume, decreasing volume, very low bear volume. Then Friday, let's take a look at what happened. Big bull volume pop. Okay. Followed by sideways action, forming an hourly bull flag. This hourly is going to take some time to catch up. The end of the day, the bull volume came in again. So got my first position. Not the most ideal. It's somewhere around the top here. Was not on the top of my watch. But look at this. We bounced straight from the key zone. Yeah, previous all-time high key zone. This is a nice hold. So chart is getting a bit interesting. There is a lot of bull sentiments to this chart. So I'm okay with getting, having my first entry in near the top of the day. Whatever. I think over the long term, especially judging by the volume, I see further upside coming. All right. Next, snow. Now this is an interesting chart too. Let's do this. Before we get into snow, let's take a look at PLTR. What happened? PLTR. On Thursday when we got in, big volume pop. The biggest bull volume ever on the 15-minute since the IPO. And if you're looking at the hourly, the biggest, I believe it was, yeah, hourly, the biggest bull volume ever came in on Thursday. So got into multiple positions on PLTR on Thursday. From there, we just sold off, grinded, did not lose the low of day. Just grinded, choppy action. You can see this red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, nonstop. And sideways, then coming Friday, boom, opened up higher, gap and run on big bull volume. Okay, now let's take a look at snow. Big volume pop, not huge. Okay, nothing like the PLTR, you know, the biggest volume ever. Not huge, by all means. Then it just grinded down, grinded down, grinded down. We lost the daily, the low of Friday towards the end of day, but huge volume pop again at the end of day. This looks similar and because it's how it's back-to-back Thursday, Friday, this is definitely reminding me of PLTR. These two beginning of day, end of day volume spikes, very interesting. Okay, I am in initial positions and do understand that this chart has been a dog for the past 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, but when it moves, even on slight increased bull volume such as this one, look at this candle. If you get a decent volume, imagine that candle. Okay, this one from the close to the high alone was 14% move. Okay, just something to keep in mind. And there is a inverse head and shoulders shaping up right now. Shoulder not so prominent. The left shoulder not so prominent, but it is lower than the head. The neckline that we're looking at, let's get rid of these. These are old now. The neckline that we are looking at is basically flat. So somewhere along there. As long as that breaks, there is going to be lots of follow through. We are holding that GP. We are holding that key zone. I am very looking forward to this trade. We'll be looking for an ad. Love the setup. This head and shoulder, not exactly clear of a head and shoulders, but the rules do apply. Shoulders lower than the head. Neckline is in the trend of reversal. So, love the setup. First few tickers, by the way, are the tickers that I am watching personally. And then we're going to go into changing it up a little bit. Reddit stocks. And then we're going to go into requested. And some of the previous ones that we've looked at. All right. Let's go on to the next one. ABNB held that GP, bouncing from it. However, seeing a lack of bounce. And particularly this is one of the reasons why I didn't get in. If you look at the weekly, we are extended, or we were extended. Okay. So even though the daily shows that it is good, it is bound to bounce. Key zone lining up with GP held that trend line, but this is partly why we are seeing a lack of follow through. There is a potential for a head and shoulder forming up here. Let's keep an eye on that. This will remain on my top watch, but I want to give it time to see where we go from here first. Oh. All right. Next, plug. Now, wow, would you look at that? This worked out perfectly, eh? Projection from back here. Well, not perfect. We didn't touch the previous high, but regardless, bull flag formation, lack of follow through. What do we look like on the weekly? Holding that weekly 8 essentially is still a weekly bull flag setup. This actually looks decent. The close of it is not ideal the way we lost it, but lack of follow through. Earnings coming up, gonna have to see where earnings take us first. It is a weekly bull flag now that the weekly 8 has been retested. Monthly is still extended though. Key to note, monthly is extended. Next. Now with monthly being, what does it mean with monthly 8 or monthly being extended? It means it's not ideal for a long play, and so the way it stands lately, I have switched my playing style to a little bit longer, and I'm looking to build a portfolio for 2021 holds, and the details are shared in our trading community. I shared the details yesterday on what I'm doing, how I'm going about it, what positions I already have, and potentially what positions I will be looking into. All right, let's look at this. So this is CCL, airlines, part of a portfolio hold. Not particular CCL, but volume looks amazing. Bull volume came in, lack of sellers, long-term sideways decreasing volume, and now we are beginning to see a move. We have broken to a new 52-week high. Should see follow through from here based on the volume. Do note that there is another, okay, so there's not 52-week high because there is another resistance up at 25.28. Gonna have to watch for a reaction there. Based on the volume, as long as we get increasing volume, I don't see the 25.28 being a problem. Next, BTWN, wedge break. I think I missed this. Oh, I did. 12:30, hey? I was watching this in the early mornings. It was right at this wedge getting shut down, and then I moved on to watching other things. Look at this volume pop. Midday volume pop. Another one yesterday too. This chart looks good. This chart looks good. Let me okay. I changed my hotkey, so no technical problems this time. Yeah, this chart looks good. Just breaking out. Trend is still in favor of the bulls on the daily. Volume looks decent. Lack of sellers. We'll be revisiting this coming Monday. Next one, PYR. Congrats, PYR bulls. July. All right, so this is the kind of move I'm looking for on NVIDIA. July, sideways action since July, June, July. Okay, just sideways, 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 sideways. Then we finally broke, and we had a perfect upper trend line of the wedge back test. What a perfect back test. With a wick, this was the gold signal. Would not have expected the run that we've had so far though. So from this back test of the wedge trend line, 200% run. My goodness. Now, where are we looking from here? Decreasing bull volume. Weekly, very extended, coming up to the 1.618. Even if we were to keep running next week, I imagine that we will see a rejection from the 1.618. Volume, nothing notable, no divergences. This could just form a bull flag from here and before the next leg up. Something like that. All right. Next. Not something I'd be touching. Risk to reward is not worth it up here. You want to be playing this. You want to be playing this from the wedge back test. Next. PTON. Peloton. All right. So this is a decent look. You know, most ideal chart or most ideal entry still remains down here. A little bit more invalidated now because we didn't drop as hard. Because there's no more confluence. So we could be looking at the 0.5 lining up with the trend line instead, which would bring us to somewhere around there. From here, we did hold key zone, but we are rejecting from the other key zone. Choppy zone, middle, no man's land, do not trade. Let's see if it comes down here. Most ideal entry. Over the long term, look at this. Look at this lower trend line. Key support. Lost it a couple times. I mean, it's not the most ideal trend look of a trend line. Lost it here. But they were both breakdown fake outs. And then another support here. Another support here. Let's see if we can draw this differently. I want to use this one instead. And it's about the same. Yeah. Anyways, remember, always use the most recent rejection or support so that it can be a little bit more accurate. So from this, it would have to be around March 16th. So this chart could take a very long time before reaching that ideal entry. We could just go sideways bear flag from here, waiting for that 88 to catch up. I do like the chart, but no trade zone. DKNG. All right. DKNG. It's choppy. On the loss of this 88, that was your exit. Then you would have had to go back to determine where your entry was. And from what I'm seeing, key zone would be, that looks like a big key zone. I don't like it. There we go. That would be the key zone. Rejection, rejection. Wicked over and then big rejection. All right, yeah, that makes sense. Something to note on the key zone, if you see a wick over that did not close over, generally what I've been noticing since starting to use key zones, next day you tend to get a big shutdown because of this inability to break over or close over. Because we did break over, we did not close over. Next day, next candle, generally you get like a shutdown. Just something that I've noticed lately. Anyways, so we held the key zone. From here, we are stalling in the next one. But would you consider this bull flag anymore? Yes, on the weekly. So it is still a bull flag on the weekly. This is looking decent. Not the most ideal bull flag we wanted to see following a break like this and break of all-time high. That just got complete shutdown. Long lower wicks. Liking the setup. Let's do an ad. Potentially looking at an ad next week. All right, next, silver. All right, what are we looking at for silver? Still rejecting from that key resistance, eh? Let's draw a zone here. Very notable that there is a zone here now. Oh, pulled my back earlier today. Okay. Makes sense. This one, not so much. Let's see. Nope, not so much. So instead, this one I would draw probably. That makes more sense. All right, so we've been pinned in between these two zones for quite some time now. Increasing bear volume, not so ideal. This one is no longer valid. Looks like we might just go sideways into the trend line before the next leg up. Over the long term, still looking okay. Not worried about it as long as this trend line holds. Next, AAL. Yeah, we got over that key resistance that's been pushing us down. Last time we got over was a fake out, came down, back tested the 88. Now we are ready to go. The 88 is right on that resistance. Increasing bull volume. Let's see the follow through on Monday. Next one, BNGO. Alright, so it's a fake out on Thursday. Broke down under the 88, back tested the trend line. This is not a trend line. Regardless, bull flag formation, lack of follow through. Let's go somewhere there. Lack of follow through. We broke through. Yeah, we broke through this bull flag, then came right back down. Weekly, we are extended. See, this is what I mean by if you were playing a daily bull flag with a weekly extended from the weekly 8, the chance of seeing a follow through is a lot less likely. So on the long term, it is not considered an ideal entry. Gave it a chance, missed this whole move, had a little bit of FOMO, not gonna lie, you know, gave it a little bit of a chance, but did not see that follow through, so exited. I think it was a break even exit or something like that. Oh no, I just checked back. It was a small profit. Next, Square. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Diha. We have been in a crazy momentum upward channel ever since the pullback from pandemic time. And now we are right at the top of the channel, still rejecting from it. Lack of bull volume. Let's see if we get a bull flag setup. I imagine this chart is also extended on the weekly. Let's take a look. Okay, not too far extended, so it's just been a steady run up. Most ideal entry, 0.5 confluence with key zone, confluence with lower trend line of the channel. Next, BFT. Wow, look at this chart. It's getting a little bit choppy, but still has decent momentum. This is the key trend line to hold. We are right on it right now, forming a wedge. No divergences, so nothing too worrying. We're gonna need to see that volume come in. Weekly, not extended. This is a good setup. Yeah, this is a good setup. Let's see how it respects the fibs. Bounce from the 0.5 back here. And probably lost a GP on this one. Yep. Regardless, I still think it's a good setup. Easy stop. Or you can just break and play the breakout. I think I might skip this one. Just based on how far we've ran already. Okay, not too much. Let's add it to the watch list. Next, GME. Alright, so the next few are Reddit stocks. GME, not very interesting. Broke under that key previous resistance, still on a downward trend. Next, ET, just breaking over the wedge. Long-term wedge. So there's two ways to draw this. This one is not so clear. fake out, came back, rejected, support. So depending on how you draw this, chart seems a little bit harder to play. If you draw it from the two high and the lows, we are just getting a breakout, but there is a potential for a longer term wedge. Doesn't look too interesting to me. Next, HE. Nice hold of that key support. That key zone has been crucial for a very long time. So hold on this, and now we are seeing a weekly reversal. Yep, potential weekly reversal. We're gonna need to see a break of 38.29. Lots of resistances upwards. You're looking at 40s, 45s, 50s, basically all the psychological resistance. Next is HE, AMC. Got lucky on this one, eh? I played it on this break, and the projection was to slightly go upwards. Then it became a Reddit pump, and sold it right near the top. 1000% gain in 3 days on the call, on the leap call too. On the leap call, 1000% in 3 days. That was ridiculous. This move was, yeah, it makes sense. It's 1000%, 400, near 500% move. And same as GME, just grinding down now. There we are basing a little bit. So this is interesting. We are basing. Key zone. Let's see if that low holds. We never filled the gap yet. 50.19 is the fill. And we're 7 cents away from the fill. Bear volume still noticeable. Not so interesting yet, but we are holding the zone. Next, PLTR. Nope, we covered this on the hottest tickers, I believe. PLTR, no, we did not. All right, PLTR. Very interesting. What's happening with PLTR? Huge bull volumes. Biggest bull volume ever, back to back on increasing bull volume. All right, this chart is looking amazing for the rest of 2021, in my personal opinion. So we got in on Thursday, and no, we did review PLTR right before snow. So now key to break is this 29 zone, and we did break it after hours. However, I wanted to see a break and close over within the trading hours, which did not happen. So let's see what Monday brings us. I am looking further upwards. This is one of the strongest hourly bull flag that you can find. It is sideways instead of trending down. Next is NG. Novak. Long-term daily bear channel. A little bit harder to find that lower. It's gonna be somewhere around there. Let's see how this works. Makes sense. Watch the channel. It's not something that you want to be playing. Trend is, play with the trend until it ends, right? Make the easy money. Unless you're playing bear, then of course you are making the easy money. But until this upper trend line of the channel breaks, not going to be interested. Next, DVD. We are in that key zone. So let's do weekly. I don't know if you guys heard that. My tummy just growled. I haven't had breakfast yet. It's gonna be somewhere around there. Hey, once this oh, we did fill the gap back here already. Once this key zone breaks, nice bull volume is coming in. So once this key zone breaks, would be looking further up. Big bear volumes as well. So not gonna be too interesting. Not gonna be too interesting playing this chart. It is a great chart for day traders. Look at this volatility. Penny stock. Next, PIA. Nice grind along that 88. Decreasing volume. Big upper wick shutting us down. Are we in all-time highs? We are in all-time highs, but got shut down right away. Key resistance to note. Yeah, you see multiple rejections here. Gonna need that volume to break through. Next, form. What a run. This is 100% run rate back right here. Since pandemic times, form factor. Kind of an interesting chart. Look at this complete U shape. Wow. Leading me to think we can potentially form a weekly bull flag from here, forming a cup and handle. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Weekly cup and handle. Yeah. Let's see if that handle forms. And watch for the weekly bull flag. It'll be a little bit hard because we can easily lose the weekly 8. But looking at this kind of formation, okay, it's more like a monthly cup and handle. So from here, this will make sense because we are extended from the monthly 8. Watch for that handle. Very interesting. Next, let's just draw this. Remind ourselves. Cup and handle. All right. IBKR. Hey, look at that. Another potential of a monthly cup handle. We are extended from the monthly 8. So could be very well looking at another monthly cup and handle shorter term wise. So from here, expect a monthly bull flag to set up. Next is ANAB. Monthly doesn't look too interesting. Weekly trend has changed to the bulls. Lots of upside potential with lots of resistances along the way. I'm seeing a drawing tool is not working. Megaphone pattern. Yeah, there's a megaphone pattern developing here. But do note that we could very well just keep this new trend line instead. Big rising wedge. Oh, no, I did not want to do that. Bull volume clearly outweighing bear volume. So this chart is a little bit interesting. Yeah. Earnings coming up on March 8th. A little bit interesting. Doesn't interest me enough though. Next, SA. As mentioned, this is going to be an extended video. We are already, what, 20 tickers in? And there is probably another 30 tickers or so. I think I'll probably run out of time before being able to go through all of it. But let's do what we can. Slight megaphone pattern. A clear channel from back here that seems like we have back tested. Let's see. Upper trend line makes sense. Lower trend line doesn't make sense. So I would draw this as a trend line instead. Yeah, it's a megaphone inside a megaphone that we are now back testing the upper trend line of the inside megaphone. Not particularly interesting, but it is an interesting chart pattern that I don't think I've encountered before. Megaphone inside megaphone, hey? Keep an eye on it. This move looks great. We're gonna need that bull volume to come back in. Next, gang. Decent volume pop. Choppy chart. Clear zone seems like we held. Yeah, we held the key zone. And then we back tested the key zone. 850 is the top of the key zone. And now we're bouncing from it. Other than that, I do somewhat see a rising wedge. That could take a very long time to play out. So a clear example of playing with the trend until it ends, because this trend could go for a very long time in the rising bull trend. But from the looks of it, I think the chance of breaking out, unless the volume really comes in, doesn't look like it's going to do much. Oh, we're on the weekly chart too. Yeah, okay. Next, HEPA. Big bull volume spike. Let's see what happened back here. Big bull volume spike. Didn't see too much of a follow through. We did just grind it up from that 88. Huge upper side potential. Nope. Not really something that I'd be interested in playing. It's one of those. It is now one of those penny stocks that's going to be harder to determine the patterns, and it wouldn't respect the fibs all that well either. There is somewhat of a wedge forming. It's even hard to look at. Just put it simply, it's hard to look at because you zoom out, it's like, you know, all your current drawings like minimized that you can't even see anything, right? That alone, it's, yeah. Next, what is this? HEPA GDNP. What a nice follow through on the wedge breakout since we last looked at it. GP hold, wedge breakout. Key resistance break on big volume, following big volume, lack of bear volume, bull flag setup. Then we continued. Bear volume's coming in now. However, it is still a daily bull flag setup. Anticipation would be likely to lose this bull flag setup though. It is decreasing bear volume. Price action is going a little bit stronger than ideal for a bull flag setup. So coming Monday, Tuesday, you're going to want to see a reversal right away. Next, ZYME. Broke under the channel. 1, 2. Okay, there's multiple ways that you can draw this. Broke under the channel, broke under trend lines, broke under this lower trend line as well. Now we are back testing it. It's looking decent. Yeah, not a clear pattern to play off of though. Just pinned in between the two trend lines for now. Next, SBUX. It's coming back. It's coming back. Right here. Come to Papa. Come back and give us that perfect entry. This lower trend line would anticipate a hold. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost. 6. 6 touches. 6 bounces from this trend line. And it lines up perfectly with the GP. I would anticipate a hold on that. Let's see what it was last time. 0.5. Chart is looking a little bit weaker now though. Failing to break that previous all-time high. No bull volume, that's why. Yeah, no bull volume. SBUX. I put a mark on it. Not sure if I'll play it, but it looks decent. Next, TLRY. Request a ticker from John. In that key zone right now. Volume is not significant. Gonna have to zoom in. Volume still not significant. Still trading under that 4-hour 8. Getting walked down by the RD8. Slight increasing on bull volume. So that's a decent sign. Trend reversal on the RD to the bull. You're going to want to see that follow through Monday. Break this RD8 as a first sign. Next, APHA. Daily looks decent. Now between APHA and TLRY, obviously APHA is better to play. Sorry, that was weekly. APHA is better to play because of the merger, so eventually the price will become the same. And that's why you're likely to see TLRY decrease in price while APHA increase in price. And just got over that 4-hour 8. A little bit more bullish. We are trading over the RD8. Definitely more bullish, increasing bull volume as well. So between the two, pick APHA. Next, Mera. Fake out. I just want to check this zone. It's not so clear. Yeah, this zone is not so clear. The upper part of it is not so clear. You could draw it to up here. 49.60. 53. Let's keep it. It's gonna be a confusing one. Actually, let's draw a line at 49.62. 40. What was it? Somewhere here. Yeah, you can see clear rejections in this. Even 48.88. Hey. And then after that is right here. 49.60. How did that react? Hey, we rejected right from that zone. Yeah, so rejection. Now looking at low bear volume. There was no divergence, so that's good. On the weekly, extended from the weekly. Give this time. Big spinning top candlestick, likely to drop down further. We're gonna wait. We're gonna have to wait for that weekly 8 to catch up. Anyway, so if you're looking at a play on this chart and you want to anticipate or plan out your game plan on what to anticipate, exactly what I did back there, looking at previous resistances, because it's hard to find those even from here. You're gonna find previous key resistances. You go back, go back in time, look at where they are, and then determine some key points, key resistances, whether if it's going to be a zone or not, and you can determine. This would have been very well anticipated upon the break of this zone. That's how you develop your game plan, or that's how I develop my game plans. And so far, I think it's working pretty well. It's a new strategy I've been trying for the last 2-3 months now. It's working out surprisingly well for me. The resistances, the rejections, and the supports, the bounces tends to be just pennies off. So give it a try. I really like it. Next is SNDL. Big rejection from this key resistance. And now we're seeing lower prices. We were extended from the weekly 8. So bull volume starting to come in. Okay, it's looking interesting. Held that key support. It's looking interesting. Lost the GP. Lost the trend line. On the hourly, we are holding this lower trend line. Lost it. Lack of follow through. But lots of resistance up. First thing you want to wait for is the trend reversal on the hourly or even the 30-minute to give you confidence. So key to break, as the way it stands right now, is 170. VEEV. VEEV. Nice follow through on the daily bull flag. Or is it weekly bull flag? Nope, we broke down under the weekly 8. Monthly bull flag. There we go. Look at this chart. Monthly bull flag, follow through. Monthly bull flag, follow through. Monthly bull flag, follow through. And again. And now potentially again. What a strong chart. Going parabolic, hey? So on this one, I would say, now that we're starting to run, use the weekly 8 as your guide. Let's see how the last runs have been. You could even use the daily 8. You can see this, but you don't want to be, this one should be something of a long-term run, because if you get faked out here by the loss of the daily 8, you would have missed out on this remainder 61% move. So try to use the weekly 8 as your guide. It's an easier play. We are a little bit extended from the weekly 8 already. Spinning top, bearish candle. We could potentially come down. If you're not in already, wait for that weekly 8. Next, Etsy. Channel formation on the weekly after a megaphone breakout and backtest. You can see megaphone, breakout, backtested. Now we are going. Weekly 8 clearly holding. Daily channel is your guide. Right now in the middle of the channel, no man's land, do not trade. Have your game plan set before you pick up your entry or your exit. Earnings coming up February 25th. Slight bearish divergence that's potentially already played out already. Yeah, use the channel as your guide. Let's drag this out. We could very well stay in this channel for quite some time. Next, APOF. Loving the weekly bull flag setup. Weekly 8 just started showing up, and we can already see it was a touch. Now we're coming up. Even if we were to get to the GP, now it lines up with the weekly 8. So that would be the perfect spot to bounce from. Love the setup. Next, W. Okay. Looks like it's more down here. So inverse head and shoulders still in play. Where is that neckline? Key neckline to break. We rejected from it Friday. Decent bull volume coming in. Earnings coming up February 25th again. And the reason why we're in this play, just to remind everyone, monthly bull flag. Monthly bull flag. Amazing setup. We're just starting to break out, and we can already see on the daily that volume is starting to come in. Want to see that follow through next week. Sorry for those of you that didn't see, I pulled my back earlier. So CLOV, not looking great. I don't like this. Man, that short report came out, and now we're just making lower lows, eh? Volume starting to come in, but there is still decent bear volume as well. Holding that key support. Let's draw a zone. There's a very clear zone back here. Clear, continuous shutdown from the opening price. And depending on how you want to draw this, I would say somewhere around there. No clear zone there. Voila. A big zone. But, and it's not clear either. It's a hard chart to play. Anyways, earnings coming up on March 1st. This 987 is a must hold. That all-time low, must hold. Next, NEO. We are still holding that key support. Lost it ever so slightly, wicked under it, and we are holding it now. So on Friday, we came down to the bottom of the key zone, held it, and bounced up a little bit. We are still trading under the 88, so overall, still in a bear trend. Gonna have to see what happens on next week. Right now, likely to form a bear flag formation. And if we do break this lower trend line, this last trend line to hold, we'll be looking at further downside. Lee broke under the wedge, holding that key zone. So far it's okay. Earnings coming up, I believe that'll dictate the direction that it's going. If we lose this, if we come back and lose this key zone, we'll be looking at further downside. Trend is still in bear's favor. FCEL, same across all EV sector right now, basically. FCEL still in bear's trend. Broke under this daily 8. That was the exit signal, and gap down and another big gap down there. This could be interesting because we could see a triple gap down. Don't usually see that. We usually see triple gap ups. From here, the key to hold, the ideal entry is this GP, right in that not so clear key zone, which also lines up with this lower trend line from back here. So it could take, especially considering how far we're extended from a daily 8, were extended from a daily 8 on Thursday, we could form a bear flag formation here, then come down. Actually, this will be interesting to see. Let's see if it works out. So bear flag formation and then come down. All right, next is F Ford. Still holding that wedge. Lost this increased momentum trend line, but still holding that wedge. So let's see if we get follow through on Monday, Tuesday. You're going to want to see that increasing bull volume first thing. SYY. lost the channel. Now rejecting from the lower trend line of the channel. Now we can see 1, 2 supports, just gap straight back up. 3 supports. 3 supports and a few resistances. Now we are rejecting again. Next, XOM. What's Exxon anyways? Nothing. Okay. XOM. Channel formation. Looks great. Let's do this. All right. Let's make it a clear channel. There's no clear bounces from the lower side though. Yeah, there we go. All right. Fake out, breakout, rejection, rejection, support, broke down, rejected 3 times, then went over again, and then now support again. So clear channel to play off of. Lots of upside potential. Maybe not lots. Well, we looked at this way back here, hey? Good thing we didn't play it back here. Look at that, just continuous bear trend. Still not convinced that there's a trend reversal. On the longer time frame, maybe we did hold that low of 30.11 by $1. But we're gonna need to break this 55.36 for a confirmed trend reversal. All right, that was that one. PLTR already did. PSTH. Gonna run through these next ones that aren't, the way I'm seeing is not as important, relatively fast. And before we get into the Canadian tickers. All right, PSTH, fake out, breakout, fake out, breakout, breakout, fake out, then reject it, and then gap down. Not looking good. Bear volume consistent, slight decreasing on Friday. I don't know if I would call this a key support, but it looks like we are reacting to that zone. Not interested. Next, SENS. Oh yeah, if you're in the SENS play, use the daily ASU guy. You know, even back here, that one day we broke down under ever so slightly and we got bought up right away. Chart looks like, oh, are we in all-time highs? 529. We got to new all-time highs, shut down right away, now forming a bull flag. Looks a little bit interesting. This volume, this candlestick was the go signal. Now, not so much. Next, space. Still in that bull flag formation. This is a weekly bull flag, so know that it will take time for it to develop. Likely not there anymore. Key support. Where is that weekly 8? 42.49, previous all-time high. Okay. Would still be here. The 0.5. Will take a little bit longer to come back to play now. But yeah, still looking at around that 0.5. Doesn't really work well with the trend line. But key support to hold. 42.50. Next, FUBO. Broke down, still in the bear trend. Nothing interesting. Lemonade. Holding that key support. Breakout, lack of follow through. No volume, nothing interesting. Earnings coming up March 1st. AMD. Still pinned in between these two key zones, eh? Hopefully no one played options on this. because you would have just been getting decay after decay after decay. Megaphone is still in play, but we are still getting pinned in between this two zone for now. Next, ADBE, Adobe. Breakout fake out, rejected from key resistance, coming back down to this trend line again. Perhaps this is a back test before the next leg up. Trend looks like it is going to reverse to the daily trend is looking to reverse to the bulls now. Gonna have to watch for a reaction. We could slowly grind down to this key zone again, but want to see that follow through. Bear volume not looking so great for the bulls. TSM just continues to grind. Wow, TSM. Three times already. I would think that there's a channel in here, but I think the channel has changed to more bull momentum. So what I'm looking at, okay, yeah, it doesn't work. It's gonna be something like that. I have to spend some time on this one. Regardless, chart looks strong. Daily 8 is your guide, and looks like huge bear divergence that has formed. Be very careful. Don't imagine we'll come back to back test the high again. We're gonna need to correct this bear divergence before the next leg up. Alright, so there's I'm gonna start skipping a few of them. Baidu, congrats Baidu bulls. We are at all-time high. Bull volume looks great. Would anticipate further up action. Dash, sideways action, nothing interesting. No interesting volume either. Next is IBIO. Doesn't look too interesting either. Just coming back down. So on this one, you would want to see a hold of GP. Trend is finally reversed to the bulls. You do not want to lose the GP, because then the trend would be reversed back to the bears. We are still holding this GP of this most recent move so far, so that is not bad. Some lower wicks forming. Good sign. DBX lost the key zone. Huge bear volume. Not looking so great. Huge bear volume. Next, CGC. Starting to see a bounce. No significant volume. Gonna want to see that follow through to and break of this 39.53 and the trend line to confirm trend reversal to the bulls. MSOS. Similar idea. Hourly trend is already reversed to the bulls. Bull volume starting to come in. Gonna need to see that follow through on Monday. Jamia. Wanted to make sure I go through these two. 120 extension target nearly hit, off by a few cents. Bear divergence that didn't play out too far. Slight bear divergence now. We are bouncing from that. Nope, this is stronger on. So trend is obvious reversed to the bears. Gonna need to see that earning. People are waiting for that earning to dictate the direction. We have ran for a straight 1,000%. Wow, 900% run. 900% run. Jesus. Wow, 95 days. This was since September. Yeah. weekly and monthly. Monthly is way too extended. Spinning top candle. Somewhat unlikely. This chart is very strong, so we could continue to run, but based on the monthly chart, I would expect sideways action from here. Goes on. There's a weekly bull flag. It's starting? Not really. It looks like it wants to form a weekly bull flag, but it's increasing bull volume. So this is very interesting. On the daily, we lost the 88. Wouldn't touch it for now. I want to see a back test of this trend line. Oh wow, their prices are high. 72% move. Not something I'd be playing. All right, let's get into Canadian tickers. Air Canada. Inverse head and shoulders playing out. Broke that neckline. We are seeing follow through. This is great. Holding that 88. Low bear volume. Want to see continuation. Well, we could just continue to form a bull flag first. Cool down the RSI before the next leg up. We are looking up at 28. Rejected from this resistance again, 24.35. Off by 6 cents. But we'll be looking up at this previous high, 52-week high of 28.24. From here, next one is Suncor. Looking great over the trend line. 88 is the guide. SCR. So we had the split, and now the price is dropping below the 88. From here, we have ran quite far. We ran 735%. Extended from the weekly 8. Gonna have to delete these. Yeah, extended from the weekly 8, so we will be looking at a little bit more pullback. Did I miss something? Yep. Anyways. Doesn't seem to. There. Right. We are expecting some pullback, and what I want to see hold will be this 0.5. I'll come back slowly. Most ideal add would be around this previous all-time high. So know that you could be giving back a lot of profits depending on where you entered. If you entered from this bull flag, you could be looking at giving back most of your profits. No. Brag, NUMI. Let's do MMED. Holding that 88. Nice break. There's actually, I wanted to do a NUMI instead. Rejected, and now we're forming a bull flag. Back tested this channel upper trend line. I'm thinking we are ready for the next leg up. Based on this volume pop, decreasing volume, lack of bear volume, we're ready for the next leg up. Keep your eyes on NUMI. Let's do one last but not least. As per our usual, GSY. Go easy. How come it doesn't show the proper one? GSY. Go easy. There we go. Canadian. Boom. I told my friends to buy this somewhere around this volume spike, and that was at the high of 50. At the low of that day was 42. Now we are trading at 125. For a finance company, for a finance industry company, god damn, excuse my language, but look at this. Just parabolic. Hope someone got in. Now from here, we are looking at a back test of this trend line and just continue. Their earnings, decent, 63% surprise for a finance company. That is great. Last time we had amazing earnings. Look at this. I think we had a gap up. Yep, we had a gap up. Great fundamental company. All right. All right, so that's it for today's video. We went over, I'm gonna have to count this, I think like probably around 50 tickers. Hope you guys enjoy the content of this video, and thank you for watching. If you're looking to get out of debt or build that first pot of gold, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button in order to get updates on our new videos. Also, check out our website at totalcontroltraders.com. Hope you guys stay safe and be in control. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.